Greetings, fellow privateers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 48. Yeehaw! Get 'em good. Sorry about the high G maneuver, Mac. She was like, yo, you gotta warn me when you slam the gas. Yeah, I probably should. Were you thrown to the ground? She's gonna end up with so many injuries. I mean, I did, to be fair. I did tell her to stay in bed and stop getting out. So it's not entirely my fault. Another gal-fed ship. God, where's enemies when you need them? Hope I'm not on a I don't think I'm on a collision course. So we'll head deeper into Ceres territory and see about trying to get in some fights or something. That doesn't have any weapon systems. I'm gonna pause a moment. Ooh, that looks like a belt pirate. That would be a spicy target, and that would be a really good finale. Alright. Well, we have a potential. Heading to that belt pirate. They might be actively moving, though. Oh, they just dropped off of sensor range. But we have a rough direction, at least. Oh, what are you? Gal-fed as well. Just a minor. So I would say I'm a warship now. Small one. Like a technical. Little jank. But I got guns. I got missiles and decoys and rails and point defense. Cannons. Josh. And a crewman. Or crewwoman. Josh. And like a whole lot of empty space, now I have all the weapons in the world. So this gunboat is still there. I don't know what happened to the pirate, or probably the pirate ship. Maybe it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. But yeah, there's some activity up here, so we'll head in that direction and hope for the best. So back to RCS maneuvers and focus on track mode self. So we're heading in that direction. We'll be there in about in-game half hour. And I'm just going to truck along at about 2 kilometers a second. That's trucking along pretty quick. What does cycle do? Cycle where? Oh, this cycle? Thrust cycle? Oh, this cycle is my, essentially like my cycling fuel into my fusion reactor. You think of it as an acceleration for my fusion reactor. Like heating it, you know, to produce thrust. Whereas this here is my, alright, I gotta do some maneuvering. Oh, what are you? You are, you're Ceres, but you're just a minor, so I'm not gonna blow you up. Or maybe I will. Maybe blowing you up will, like, piss the right people off. So they'll come and, like, police me or something? I don't know. Oh god, this asteroid belt is dense as hell, though. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna blow up that boat. All's fair in love and war. If you're out here... Oh yeah, see, here's the thing. If you get... And I mentioned this a lot of times, but if you get close to a civilian ship, they leave pulling more G's than a human could possibly survive. Which was a complaint of mine. Oh god, oh god. Ooh, I have no idea how I didn't hit that asteroid, but thank you. Whoa, and there they go again. You know, the relative velocity of, you know, just 67 kilometers a second. Where they were at 0 not too long ago. No big deal. But it does look like whatever this is belt pirates. All right, we do have hostiles. This is hostile. The LCWG is a hostile belt pirate mega ship. So we have a target in mind. And I am going to start to adjust my cross velocity so that I'm on an intercept course. But yeah, that's what happens when you try to bully civvies. The civilians just, like, leave the area using their light speed drives, I say, almost unironically. It's pretty silly. Yeah, they've gone plaid. Maybe every other human in this universe is like a tardigrade that can survive like a bajillion G's. Actually, there was a recent experiment about bacterium. Oh, I'm gonna hit this thing. Oh, nope. I somehow missed again. A bacteria surviving like a unbelievable amount of G-force, which then and that's really interesting because in a massive amount of G-force is equivalent to like a comet hitting Earth. And if they can survive that kind of G-force, it stands to reason bacterium might be able to survive a comet strike hitting Earth. And that was recent news that I saw, which is like, yeah, maybe it is actually possible for the origin of life to have been comet-based or something similar. Oh, track warning. Means they're launching their missiles. Well, if you're launching your missiles, how about I launch mine? So that would be 5. And I know from last time not to bother with countermeasures until the missile's a little bit closer. But my missiles did not smart link or anything. They just went off all willy-nilly. Right. Now that we're firing on one another, let's go red. Hey, Bola Mac, welcome to the crew. Whether I pay out your death pay or not, I'm not sure. We'll see. Now that I'm in a actual firefight, I'm gonna turn the rails back on. So the rear-facing rails are active now. Alright, doing a lock. Firing again. I should have probably locked ahead of time. Because I kinda didn't. Those are decoys. Or maybe they're missiles? And I thought they were decoys? What the hell? Okay, they were really missiles. I should probably save scum, because I'm stupid and thought they were decoying, and I'm an idiot. And I'd rather have a good firefight and admit to being an idiot than just, like, ride with my ship getting shredded. I don't know what kind of missiles those were, though. They were not the type of missiles that were used before. They were like flak or something. Interesting. But all right, let's approach again because I don't have any idea why I tried to launch a missile with no missile lock. That was I'm gonna pretend I didn't do that. But I would love to be able to board them. That's really the goal here. And yeah, I wouldn't say well rip is appropriate. I survived that and was very combat ready. I just didn't want to ride with that damage. More like I'm a coward. I mean, at this point, Ceres is not fully, it's only partially implemented. And that means there's not a good system to be able to repair your ships when they take damage. Which I assume next major update, their 1.0, it will be fully implemented and there will actually be parts dealers to be able to, because at the moment, if you lose anything on your ship, it's just, you're done. Like, you can't get it back because there's no one selling the parts for it. Yeah, they really need some sort of scrap dealer or like spare parts or something, because, you know, like, let's say I had parts of my reactor blown up. There's nowhere to buy spare parts for that anywhere. So you could maybe try to board another ship, but if you don't have a fusion reactor, you're not getting anywhere. You're not going to be aboard anything, right? And that's fundamentally the problem with the zone at the moment. All right, let's take this a little bit more seriously. So I want to go kind of more in the open over here, where there is not going to be a lot of stuff to hit. Also, I must say my point defense did absolutely jack in defense of the ship there. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to position myself in a really good spot for a fight, where there's not a lot of debris in the way. All right, track warning. Let's get that rail back on. Slow down relative to the belt pirates, or relative to this asteroid, so that we're kind of stationary-ish. There we go. We're really not moving relative to the local asteroids. We have them on Viz. So here's our vision circle. Here's their vision circle. And I'm going to slowly accelerate towards them, as they seem to be accelerating away from me. I don't know why they're, like, bailing. But I'm going to get inside and then slow down again. Another track warn. I don't see any asteroid or any missiles coming my way just yet. And my rails, hold on, they were on 4? I am going to take the cheekiest of pot shots at them. I don't think it will hit, but like, it's like, I want to be the first one to shoot. In honor of Han Solo. So I have them at 180, which is like, backwards. I don't see that they've launched anything at me. I'm going to kill all my cross velocity. And, I keep forgetting. 4? Yeah, 4. I just fired my rails at them. Pooped it out the back. I'm going to do it again. At absolute 0 here. Fully squared up. There it is. Second shot. Alright, belt pirates. I'm firing on you. What you gonna do about it? I hit them! I hit them twice! What's up? Get crapped on! My poop gun! My dump and run! What's up? Eat crap, pirates! Yar! Oh, what did I blow up? Oh my goodness! That's a lot of damage. Dang, I like virtually did not miss. Alright, well, you're probably wondering, hey, what's the missiles like? Missiles are on 5, decoy on 9. Got it. Missiles away. And now I'm gonna point towards them so my point defense is ready to intercept anything they throw at me. Oh! 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 Munchy crunchy! Your ship is getting beat to hell! Oh god. Throttle up. Oh. Trying to adjust course has been very bad. Second missile launch. Oh! Yeah, you only have a point defense system left. You have nothing left. Oh, what's up? Going for a boarding. You done be splashed. Let's get pirate hunting. Hey, last time I checked, the faction ties, oh, you hate me more for killing pirates? Whatever. I guess I did murder someone, so I don't know. Boarding what? I don't know what there is to board. You're right. It's entirely possible there isn't much of a ship left. But they're coming to me like I don't know what's going on. So let me slow down time and match their velocity so that they're not like trying to collide with me like there's some reaver. Because they ain't no way I'm going out like wash. Sorry, Hoburn. So I want the relative velocity between us to be like double digits or something. So that it's not like they're slamming into me. They might actually try to be boarding me. Which means I am going to toggle power on my front door and pick up my carbine now. And also put my helmet on in case I lose oxygen to the ship or something. I'm going to go to my less lethal rounds bag and grab a whole bunch of less lethal rounds. I know they're pirates and they deserve full auto, much lethal, but I wouldn't mind taking pieces of their ship if I can do it. And then I'll put the crowbar down. Alright, back onto the console. And let's blast to try to not have them slamming in my butt. So I'm resolving also the cross velocity while I was trying. Screwed that up. Alright, so 99 meters a second and cross velocity. So I'm moving away from them, obviously, and they're trying to catch up. And I'm going to let them catch up. They might actually be trying to actively board me. But there doesn't seem to be anything like behind me that's going to get me killed. So I'm going to accelerate towards them a little bit. Because, like, they're done. I mean, they don't have a ship left. I've, like, annihilated them. Alright, what are they doing? What are you doing? Oh, hold up. I don't need to be... There's, like, no ship left. I don't need to be coil gun murdering them. My suit's on low... Oh, yeah, it is on low power. Wait, did I switch a dead battery for a dead battery? Good lord. 40%? Yeah, okay. Good lord. Alright, they're very close to me. And... let's get within 5 kilometers so I can initiate a force board. I know we're moving at, like, incredible speeds relative to one another. So it's a bit, like, dangerous ballet level. But I'm trying to resolve that. This is definitely, intense. For as low poly pixel as it is intense. Alright, so now, relative to one another, we are less than 100 meters. But I am traveling, there's other stuff. Right? So the danger is, I board them, and then I crash into an asteroid. So initiate forced dock. I'm not authorized. I also don't care. Throttle near max is already up. My front door is locked. My gun is loaded. And my crew member is going to sleep through this. I don't care. That's fine. Alright, lower velocity a little bit. I'm gonna roll in. I'm surprised they even have a door. They probably don't, to be honest. If I have tow brakes, could I just slow down? Yes, but I can't tether if they're trying to murder me. So here is what is left of their ship. They obviously had a reactor with helium and cryo and all the goodies. They even have a dolly. They had bunks. On heat, if I go to... well, alright, let's quickly go to heat. You can see the living here. Yeah, and they have some missiles that they didn't get to fire. Strength trainer, treadmill. Man, they have like a nice... well, they had a nice ship. Then I removed it for them. Alright. So the problem is if I want to tether to them... actually, this door is off. So there's actually a good... I could probably tether to them then. Because they can't get through this door without prying it open, and I don't think they're smart enough to do that. Which means I can secure their vessel and then stop them relative to the asteroids. So now I've tethered them. God, I feel like I'm a repo man. I've tethered them now, and then I am going to slow down relative to the asteroids around us using my fusion drive. Their ship does appear to have some holes in it. I did make it a blessed vessel. Now I'm trying to kill all the relative velocity between me and the other asteroids around, so I know I'm not gonna like bump into them at ballistic death speeds. Are they working on their ship? I have no idea. In fact, I might have thrown them off because of the G-forces I just subjected them to. There might not even be people on their ship anymore, to be honest. I might have just bucked them as a result of tethering and then accelerating hard, which is an amazing... oops, a way to deal with pirates is to like tow their vessel and then just like gun it and throw them off their own boat. All right, so I'm gonna reduce the relative velocity down here to like almost nothing so that I'm not at risk of hitting anything. How am I? Wait, I'm not. How am I doing G's right now? Yo. Cycle active off. How am I accelerating? Oh, there we go. That was weird. I was like accelerating towards the asteroid without the cycle being open. That was very odd. I was not in control. Briefly. Alright. I'm still not in control. I just... Look, it's off. It's closed. It must be a tethering thing. Yo. Game. Yo, stop. Why am I accelerating? I think it's my thrusters. Because it looked like I used a lot of nitrogen gas. Alright, one more micro adjustment here. And then I'll try to tap my thrusters to make sure my thrusters turn off at the end of this adjustment. Because I think... Yeah. I think that's been the problem. Because my thrusters, like, spin on for some reason. And then, like, don't shut off for some reason. Whatever. I think the relative speed between me and my surroundings is fine. Alright. Are there even... Yeah, there's still people here. Alright. Cool. Close... Gun. Let's fix that. Pry this. So, oh, you know what? I don't have my crowbar. So this is exactly why I want a crowbar, because I want to pry the door open and not to have to hold a katana, and then put the katana on the ground once I want the gun, because there's nowhere else to put the katana. So yeah, crowbar meta is still meta. You put a transponder there? What the hell? Like, what? I don't know. Alright, pirates. What am I locked into? Another... door? Do you have a valid path to me? I don't think you do. Spook me for a second. Alright, bud. Segs. Gold? You're a segsy gold. Well, okay. Jaffa Cree, little dude. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Now where's number 4? Visor for heat. You can't hide from me. I don't see number 4. I mean, that's Bola. I don't see the other... Did the other one die? I don't see them. If I went to my comms... Am I close enough to my comms? Nope. Because I could see, like, how many crew it reads. Alright, Brandon. Batista. Okay, yeah, they're dead. Let's go to the nav to see what it says for, like, people alive, because it's a little weird that I don't see another person. Wait, don't shoot the nav. What the hell did I just click? No, don't shoot my nav. Dang it. Hunter, what are you doing? And that's why we use the frangible rounds. Alright. Use. And then zoom. Crew 0. I took down, quite likely, and granted, a lot of it was like just... Well, no, credit where credit is due. I took down what is quite likely the biggest gunboat in the belt. Do you think that's fair? Fair assessment? Biggest gunboat in the belt? These are oversized, aren't they? Can I pick up stack? Nope. Because these things are loaded, and I ripped it apart like it was nothing. That was fun. Oh, can I really? No. Alright, let's reload our missiles. I hope they have, oops, good missiles. These are both smart missiles. I honestly do not know why they didn't fire on me with their missile systems. It confuses me a little bit, to be honest, why they just let me... I mean, I don't think I punched any critical systems. I'm going to guess their nav was here-ish, because this looks like where their nav would have been. It's hard to picture like what their ship was like before I went blammo and murdered it all. They do have pretty full helium. I mean, those are totally full helium tanks and reactor. There's a lot of money here. They have a heavy water tank that is also good. There's a lot of debris. I'll go a little bit longer just to be able to like profit off of this, because I don't want to assume that the series ends here, and not make bank off of claiming a giant pirate warship. So they do have LiDAR. That's cool. And they have radar. So I didn't destroy their LiDAR radar, which is awesome. The big explosion probably took out their nav. Yes, probably would. And I don't know which that was precisely, but you're more than likely right that hit crippled them. And good. I got no problems with that. Wait, what? Did I pick up missile up and then it didn't? Was there 2 missiles there? What is... my brain can't handle it, whatever. Let's also pick up the radar. Yeah, they have a bunch of hydras. They have the helium tanks. Those tanks are going to be a little tricky unless I install some flooring on the outside of my ship, because I don't have a lot of space for that stuff, to be honest. Like this I have space for like a tank here and maybe a tank here. Maybe a tank there. Yeah, maybe it's fine. All right, let's go ahead and poke the dead. I don't know why they were hauling that around. Did you try to fight me with a shiv? You brought a shiv to a gunfight? I love how dumb you are. And you brought a tack knife to a gunfight. What did you bring? You brought a billy club, a nightclub, to a gunfight. Yep. Well, you are not the world's best pirates. They do have a tow brace and a airlock, a secondary airlock. So they have a symmetrical ship, left-right airlocks. Pretty sexy. I like that design. The symmetryist in me appreciates. They also have decoy launchers, which I'm sure sell for like a bajillion and change. I don't even know what their sell price is on like the open market, because it's not something I've ever tried to sell, but I'm sure it fetches pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty cool to like splash a warship and tell the tale. And not only that, but like well too. Oh, they had a contaminant scrubber for their the back of their ship. That's neat. Yeah, it's quite possible that I made the money back from the ordinances I used on them. I think that's pretty safe to say. And then some. And if I stripped this ship for all of its parts and like cannibalized it, which I'm not going to spend the time to do, and then some for sure. What was in the decoy launcher? 2 decoys? So they could have used it. They just didn't. I am really curious. I mean, there's a fair likelihood that the rail shots that I landed did enough, crippled them enough that they were unable to, or maybe the AI is so bad that it just didn't try to defend itself. I'm not sure. Problem is I just can't fit everything. Like, there's nowhere to put these decoys. I know the footprint they require. I mean, I might be able to get them here if I move the bins. Yeah, or shots disconnecting their power, but like that's unlikely because you don't lose. There's a lot of redundant power here. I can see the cablings. I'm thirsty. I could have hit a stored missile. That's true. I don't know where their missiles were, but one of the shots I landed, like, absolutely blew up their crap. Massively. I mean, we all saw it. It was like, plink, 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 boom! And, like, the thing went nuclear. So, yeah, they have racks of PDC stuff. They have a random... Oh, yeah, their nav was here. So they have a piece of their nav map. So their nav was here, and I don't know what I blew up that went kablamo and ripped apart everything. But there's a tiny bit of nav debris, so the nav was installed here, near that seat. So my intuition initially was correct. There was a nav there. Secondary explosions are way cool. There's even power? Like, their reactor... Is their reactor on? Oh, why am I repairing this thing? Whoops, wrong. I meant to uninstall. Low-key, their reactor might still be running. Nope, it's not. It's just running off these batteries then. I'm going to check what they have in the racks back here. They have names for all these racks, but they're, like, wrong. It's like spare cooler, but a cooler couldn't possibly fit in that spot. Most of these racks are just, like, spare parts or junk or stuff. It's not like ordnances or anything like that. Some Aberlive core liners. A boot. Yeah, probably my rails took out some missile that they had, and it took out the nav, and then they were kind of dead in the water. They were doing some, and I don't know how they were pulling it off, but they were doing some maneuvering, a light maneuvering towards the end, so I'm not really sure about that, but, you know, whatever. It doesn't, I mean, I won. I think enough said. So how am I going to get the decoy launchers on? That is... So of the valuable... Let's go to price overlay just so you can see what is left easily. So here's price mass. I'll put the... I can put my gun away. There's no reason for me to run around with it anymore. Actually, let's reload it. But very fun to just, like, board them, smoke them, you know, and then... It's just everything went right in that fight. Just straight, well, the second time. Straight up murdered them. Checking their PDAs. It's too bad there weren't more crew that survived. I don't even know why I want red light still. See if there's any... Oops. Incorrect. We've got KP pressure viz. Damage viz. Too bad I don't have cargo nets. I mean, I really hate the aesthetic of cargo nets, and it's weird. And then we have heat viz. Okay, so nothing I care about in those PDAs. So back to what I originally said. Price overlay. Visor for inverse rainbow. So you can see the decoy launchers are worth more than really anything else. Plus the toe brace secondary airlock. Those are pricey. Apparently the cladding is too. I honestly disagree with that. The cladding is not worth that much. Yeah, I don't know why it's blue. It's like $3 signs, which is like the same as the bunk. So I don't know why it's... Maybe it... I honestly don't know. Oh, there was another Rancor missile here. So yeah, if there's a missile here, I obviously hit a missile. Because they probably symmetrically had missiles over here. And I shot a missile, it blew up, and it went kablam! And, like, wiped out their whole ship. Which is good to know that the 50 mil or 150 shots don't seem to explode, but their missiles do. So having excess missiles is like kind of low-key sketchy, it seems. Makes sense. Well, I am well over my time now. So I think what I will do is tend to my physical needs real quick, just like drinking and washing up, leaving the decoy launchers TB done, because I think it's going to take me some time to try to figure out like how I would even do it, and maybe that's a problem for never if this series ends here as a finale. But regardless, this is where I'm going to leave off with like a lot of hope. Hope that I can survive the asteroid belt. Hope that I have a crew member that might see me in a different light eventually, romantically that is. And that, you know, this warboat of mine, this condensed, tight warboat, is capable of taking out some of the biggest threats in the belt. So this, friends, is where I'm going to leave off. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow astronauts.